stream started up already or not, but
It is.
Oh, okay.
yeah, just wanted to make sure. Before I was like, oh hey, everyone that may or may not be here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people we're gonna get, but you know.
Crack on at the very least.
Oh, what will we do without Kraken? Ugh.
The Delaware was just chatting tonight, though.
Yeah, we can always get Kraken on here for chatting nights.
I've been trying. She keeps saying no.
Come on, we need to do an interview with the artist thing.
We will.
We don't have to show her face.
There is the slight issue of we start at like 4:30 a.m. her time.
Look, it just take an hour. Just an hour with her. Hi, Kraken. Oh no, we've started with the ooh-woo.
Get out.
It was Kraken.
Yes. I know.
Also, it's still cold in here. That's why I'm wearing the blanket.
Yes, Kraken, we're gossiping about you. We will get you on at some point for an interview with the artist, even if it's just for an hour because we play a god-awful time in your morning.
I did not like that.
Did not like what?
The cat.
Oh, I didn't see. I was just looking away. Kraken.
He decided to
He decided to what?
play parrot.
Ah. Yes, you are, Kraken. We can get your thoughts on all of our characters.
Everyone is interesting enough. Just some people are more interesting.
Wow.
Also, they have me on here, so you can't be that much less interesting than me.
Exactly.
Yes, you are what makes that interesting.
Rip. Savage.
I can say that we're family.
It's fine, Dangle's just a savage. So, how are the two of you? Kraken says, I know he's here through nepotism.
Pretty much, yeah.
I am tired. But not like I want to go to sleep tired.
Yeah, just tired.
Been busy the past couple weeks. Different work stuff.
Fun. My aunt's back, and it's just as bad as I expected it to be.
You mean she's not fully healed?
No,
We all know the answer to that. It's fine.
not even close. She literally still can't sit up by herself. I had to hand her
Yeah.
some medicine off of the table because she couldn't find or reach it herself. Mind you, it's the table that swings over her bed. She was, instead of pushing the bed up to look at it, she's just, where is it? I'm like, you've touched it 4 times already. Here, let me just hand it to you.
Yeah. It's okay. Hopefully, situations will change and things will get better.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Look,
Yeah,
all
you
I'm
do that.
saying is once you actually do end up moving out, you won't have to deal with it, so it'll get better immediately.
That may not necessarily be true because no one else is stepping up in the family either, except literally my mom, and my Aunt Teddy has decided that she's wiping her hands of most of it.
Yeah. There might be a reason there.
I don't hold it against her, but it has certainly made things much more difficult for me. There's other stuff, but I don't want to talk about it on
Yeah.
on stream.
So, would we like to do recaps?
Sure.
We can absolutely do that.
Fine with whatever. We got a couple hours to kill.
At least an hour to kill. I feel like something should be there.
Yeah. We could do that. We could talk characters, go over systems, do whatever.
It's halftime for my football game, so. Look, this is the first year in legitimately like 20 that they're decent, so I'm riding this wave.
Oh, so are you gonna go when halftime's over?
No. Because that'd be like in like 15 minutes.
Ah,
I do, however, have it on my phone, so.
there you go. There you go.
And for those of you curious, I'm a Miami fan. Don't judge me.
It's weird that you're a Miami fan. Have you ever lived there?
Nope.
Why are you a Miami fan?
Dan Marino.
Who?
Dan Marino. He's only like the former record holder for like 7 or 8 different quarterback
Oh.
records. It's
Look, what we talked about earlier is about as much as I understand of it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
At least it's something, I guess.
Yeah.
I understand more about football than I do everything other than hockey.
Yeah. Which we will have hockey talks at some point.
Yeah. Go Wings.
Not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, for me.
As long as Nen doesn't say he likes the Islanders, I don't care.
I have not watched hockey in years.
I'm not surprised.
I've actually been to a handful of Wings games.
Anyway, recaps. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
How are we doing it? Are we just reading off what we wrote, or what? Where is mine anyway?
I'm just giving a really broad overview of like what's happened so far.
Last time a little recap was January.
Yeah, it's been a very long time since we've done a recap.
Yeah, so it's about time.
Mm-hmm.
So since I have mine pulled up, I can absolutely get started on mine.
Yeah, I need to find.
You posted it somewhere. I don't remember where though.
You go. I'll find it.
All right. So for Life in Blood Atlanta, if you don't know who I am, shame on you. Not really. Storyteller for that though. Dangle. And for Life in Blood Atlanta, that is our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle for or set in Atlanta. Faye and Buttons and now Cosmic play in that. And just to give a real quick rundown, like I said, because if I read word for word, we'd be here for 45 minutes, and I'm not doing that. So Charlotte, Stephen, Beth, and Tori were kind of thrown together by the now dethroned prince that was. Initially, though, she was Baron. Baron Carissa Hughes to do a job. In that job, they met everybody's favorite Nosferatu's Barney and Red, which kind of sparked a love-hate relationship there. Love-hate friendship, maybe? Who knows? And they did some odd jobs here and there for pretty much the entire city. They did end up meeting a Bruja that was then diablerized shortly thereafter. We met Cyril rather quickly during a fashion show, actually, where we met all of the Barons. The now deceased Victor Cartwright, Johnny Totem, and deposed Dante Wright. More on Dante in a little bit. So like I said, did some odd jobs here and there. Ended up got to the point where somebody needed to take ownership of the sprawl. And the barons that had basically decided that Tori should. And that was partly due to the fact that Cyril had to was proposing a deal where he would stop messing with people in the city. And Tori would have to do help him out as well. Get everybody off his back. That happened, except for one particular person, which is Banu Hakim, which may or may not have had stake bait, and they staked him. It's fine though. Nothing's happened.
Dangle totally never tried to allude us to that. We just didn't listen.
Yeah, sure. Shortly thereafter, though, broke off into individual games. Shiloh went and confronted a leak that had alerted the Camarilla as to her existence and her whereabouts in the city. Because Shiloh is salubri and very, very, very valuable to certain Tremere. Beth, which is the Bruja that was, had to face some past ghosts, demons, whatever they are. Bad stuff from the past. And then Stephen got to meet his great-great-grandsire, the Harpy of Savannah, which is always fun. Had a nice little talk, did some illicit substances, had a bit of a vision quest, woke up to the club burning down, threw him in a dumpster, and ran away. And Tori decided that she was going to go have a business meeting with Cyril, which a lot happened. A lot of positive happened. However, there was something that very much negative happened as well. And that was a connection was made to Baron Samedi, which we're still dealing with fallout from that. But after we all reconvened into the same, one Carissa Hughes declared practice over Atlanta because Shiloh didn't kill her ghoul, but Gregor said he did. Or she did. Which we didn't officially meet Gregor in a full capacity yet. So that's fun. But we shortly thereafter did. Elysium was had, Gregor and Michael both made their presence very much known. There was also a intergame mingling there, where Katrina was there, Nain was there. I believe one other person was there. Ellie, maybe?
Ellie. Yep.
Yeah. Don't know what the significance of that is.
I'm
But
sure
anyway,
it's nothing.
at some point, Stephen contracted dementation. Don't know where that's from.
Definitely not Ellie.
Yeah, definitely not. But Carissa decided that she was going to mess with the coterie on an individual, personal basis, which drew the ire of a couple of the princes around the country. Most notably, there we go. Prince of New York, Prince Banhard, Prince of Chicago, Prince Jackson, Prince of Birmingham, Prince Silverson, and Prince of New Orleans, Prince Kelbarashi.
We attracted his attention?
Yeah, he was there. You didn't meet him, though. As well as the Prince of Charleston, which I have not given you the name for yet. There's a reason for that. He's new. So, but he's good at what he does. But they showed up. They were like, all right, cool, stop doing dumb stuff to Carissa. Gave her an entirely new council, which was a little too late. Too little, too late, I believe, is the expression. Because by that time, our anarchs were forcibly driving out the tower. Blew up her house, sacrificed some people, which is where Vic died. And gargoyles were also introduced a little bit here and there. Had one that Coterie knew quite well. Another one that
Rip George.
was, yeah. Another one that was not so much. Also didn't stand up much of a fight.
Thank you, Red.
Yeah. But yeah, after the mansion was blown up and everything was kind of cleaned up, we had some downtime. Don't remember exactly what happened during the downtime, but it was all positive, all good. However, shortly thereafter, the first week of March, Festivo dello Estinto. roughly translates to Festival of the Dead, the yearly celebration that the Sabbat like to have in their cities. This they saw as a good opportunity to try to take back Atlanta. It would have worked if it weren't for those meddling kids. But Tori wasn't there because Tori was called away on business from the Nashville Regent, which I think I've actually said his name before. It's Filipino. I don't fully remember it.
I think you have, but it wasn't anything that we delved too deep into because Tori stuff all happened off screen.
Yeah, because that's a lot of just I talk to you, you talk to me. That's not a whole lot of fun. So,
I mean, debatable.
It's not a lot of fun for everybody else. Let's put it that way. So yeah, during that time, they met a new Tremere. That Tremere just so happened to stab him in the back eventually, but it's fine. During the week, loosely helped. There was a raid on a certain news tower that she helped with. Met one of Samal's child there. That was funny. Ortega. Or Tortuga. Whatever you want to call. She's very much a enforcer, let's call it that. Stumbled upon a bar that called itself the Black Hand that was run by some Sabbat members. They were just trying to join it. But you end up my mind blanked. I apologize. You ended up setting up some events, seemingly gained some trust. First night, not a big deal. Second night, a little bit more of a big deal. The first part of the night goes off without a hitch. Everybody shows up. It's a big event. Second half of the night, they start embracing and eating and doing what it is they want to do. Each of you kind of split off and did your own thing at that point, which was fun. It was fun for me, at least. I don't know about all of you. Steven kind of helped Tori a little bit in the locker room. Tori came in through the back entrance, aka the service tunnels. Met a new friend, which if you watched our most recent one, you would recognize them. And Beth had a fight out on the dance floor, which was fun. Or no, Beth wasn't there. Beth wasn't there. That was Nexus and Dell. Which, if they come back, cool. If they don't, understandable. But Shiloh also had a bit of a fight. But it was a Shiloh fight. Shiloh initially was all for it and then realized I can't win this, so tried to run away. And bad things happened. Until she got out into the hallway and Darian was there and fixed it for her. Again. After the events of the evening, everybody kind of split off, did their own separate things, met up the following night, had some talks between new people, old people, what exactly happened, because Tori had been out for the week. Got sort of caught up, not fully. And then got an alert from Barney saying that there was an issue at the prison. which they had to go take care of. They stormed the prison. It was going really well. Probably a little bit too well. Because when they actually got to the yard, there was a mass embrace. They split. Stephen and Dell went upstairs. Tori and Shiloh stayed downstairs. Tori and Shiloh didn't have a problem. Tori and Shiloh met zero resistance, which was probably a little bit odd. But makes more sense when you realize that upstairs, Dell and Stephen met all of the resistance. Met some dude named Boots, some other shadowy cloaked figure, left the area and did other things. When they were cleaning up, they sorted desirables and non-desirables, let's put it that way. Into useful and non-useful, aka depending on what crime that the people were in prison for, they either kept them or gave them to Red. So after everything was dealt with there, we ended for the evening. However, that was not the evening for our coterie members. The events that transpired the following game were as such. Tori lost 2 dogs, a haven, and a lot of security. Stephen had to go to the hospital and talk to some cops, but not because he did something. Also got to see his sister, so, that's fun.
Really wasn't surprising at all.
No, not at all. Shiloh lost her haven, and her world slightly imploded. Kind of. An
it just collided.
Yeah. An old partner of hers is hunting her sire. And her sire was like, yeah, I embraced you just to mess with her. Basically. There's more to it, but that's the very high level stuff. And from there, we kind of set in motion a couple things. First and foremost, we set in motion the start of the indie game. An address was given to go find Gregor so Tori could go take care of issues. This chapter was set in motion because, well, we've kind of tied up all of our loose ends that we can tie up right now without physically going out and taking care of them. And lastly, set up for, well, we've got a new player in the city as well that we met in the prison yard, didn't we?
Nope, don't know what you're talking about.
She canonically, if you are going to look this up, her name is Janina. It is Baron Samidi's childer. Canonically, she is no longer in the world of darkness, which is probably for the better. However, it made more sense for the Total Party Grit World of Darkness to have that one. And it is a kind of, sort of attempt for redemption from the Baron after quote-unquote saving her from destruction So yeah. But yeah, no, she's like an 8, 9-year-old girl. It's wonderful. Not creepy at all. She's also not like 4th generation, so it's fine. So yeah, and then current chapter that we're on, we have had reports of a lot of people going missing, which you guys pretty much took care of. And then you went to the zoo. Met a new
It
friend.
was a fun trip.
What'd
I'm
you
surprised.
say?
I said it was a fun trip.
Yeah. I'm surprised nobody took any of the stuffed animals that I tried to give you.
If Tori was gonna take one, it would end up shoved somewhere unpleasant for the Nosferatu.
The Niktuku, thank you very much.
He's still a Nosferatu.
But yeah, no, that pretty much brings everybody up to speed. There was a small bit there that Dante is no longer Baron because Dante cannot handle his own crap.
Yeah, Tori put a motion in to unseat him, and he stepped down willingly, much to her berating him for that.
So yeah, that is Life and Blood Atlanta in a nutshell. It only took me 20 minutes. It's fine.
Well, you also didn't read it off word for word.
Right.
What did you name each arc?
So, first arc was, and this is for my notes, the feeling out process. Second arc is A Prince is Born. Third arc is Festivo de lo Extinto. That one. And then this one, I'm not going to tell you until I'm done.
That's fine. I named mine too, but I don't have a name for this one that I'm willing to tell you, for the last one that I'm willing to tell you yet.
I wonder why.
Definitely because it won't give things away.
No, mine won't either.
Have we missed any of your story beats that you wanted us to take?
There's a couple, but it's fine. There was some stuff with Amp that you could have.
I really want to interact more with Amp. I like Amp.
There is some stuff with Cyril, actually, that you could do. That would have to be initiated by Tori, though.
But,
Cyril and Hush. Let's put it that way.
we'll talk maybe.
And then there's been some personal stuff that I kind of like. If you want it, you can take it, but you don't have to. For all of you, really.
Steven still needs to look into his dad's nurse.
Yep. I just assume that you're asking someone else to do it. You just haven't gotten a return response or haven't actually checked up on it yet. Which, above board, the nurse is fine. There is a criminal record there, but it's nothing to be worried about.
The
They're
substance
on a-
abuse.
No,
Mm.
They're on a certain registry for people that do dumb shit. Decided when they were very inebriated during college that running down the middle of the street was smart.
Nice.
They may or may not have had any clothes on.
Cute.
Yeah. Things we do while we're drunk.
Sure.
And in college, I wouldn't know.
Me either.
Me neither.
Legitimately for me, though.
I went to college. I have a degree, but I was never in college. But you don't need a degree to have a good job.
No, I have
It
a
just
very good
helps
job
sometimes.
now.
Yeah, it just helps
not-
sometimes.
It's not amazing, but I have a good job.
Exactly. So, lesson for all of the hopefully not under 18 when I say this, but kids.
Yeah, and I
You don't-
legitimately never went to college or anything like that. I went right into working.
Trade school if you are so inclined. Trust me.
Also recommend trade school.
Yes. And not for nothing, but if you're in America and you just want like free college, just go into the military for the least amount of time possible.
Oh, maybe not with the way that things are going.
Like I said, least amount of time possible.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. I just like free shit.
Fair. Anything else we should know about your game? Any other missed opportunities or anything else?
Any questions that you have?
So many. So many. But none that...
Go ahead and ask.
I don't know if I want to ask them on stream.
Send them to me in text.
I will. I always have questions for you.
I know. Does Nen have any questions?
No.
Does Kraken have any questions?
Yeah, Kraken, do you?
There's a delay on my end, so I can't see.
LOL, no.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up my side.
Well, I guess I could get started on Detroit if there's nothing else. I only have 3 arcs, because... yeah, the first one ran long, and we're on the 3rd one now. So, my first one was called Rats to Slaughter. Fitting, I think. So, our game, Blood and Hope Detroit, where I run it, Nen, Dangle, and Buttons play in it. Kosia did play in it, and I've recently got a new person running as well, but that was only in the last game. So, it started out with something that's actually held annually in Detroit, called the Monster Ball. I have usurped it to become a somewhat Elysium type event, and Detroit is not any singular sect. It's a bunch of different ones. It's all relatively agreed that that is neutral ground. So anyway, everybody met there. Rufus, Debbie, and William were found out some kindred were missing, and then eventually running into a hunter staking a Nosferatu. They caught. Of course. I'll be right back.
So yeah. Trying to remember exactly what all happened at the very beginning.
So we found the Nos being staked. Rufus, William, and Debbie, because I don't believe Lottie was there quite yet. I'll chase down the hunter. We got to see Rufus use chemistry, which was fun.
Yeah, which I was hoping would work better, but they were a person, not a... Yeah. But anyway, it's fine.
We eventually caught up with the hunter, drug him back to someone, King, I think, to deal with them.
It was. Yes, it was King. To deal with him, and then we kind of split from there. And then there was a time skip where the hunters were dealt with for the most part. Stuff was going okay for the most part from what I remember. However, it quickly devolved into there's Nos missing. And that's a problem. We did some investigation of our own, found some plants with the dead Nos, which pointed to Cat, which nobody really wanted to mess with Cat. So there might have been some framing going on. But yeah, that was a couple games of that. We eventually went and had to go find Mike because Mike had disappeared. Met a Nick Tuku up there, but this one was much less young. From what I understand. Yes, from what I remember, it was a lot less young. Because Mike was messed up. The individual in question found him in a hole somewhere in the back of a subway station or something. Train station? All of the above?
The old Detroit train station.
Yeah. Drug him back to King and took care of him.
King tried
quickly.
What ended up being Nick Tuku tried to eat King, and then you all shot him. Ended that one. Yep, and that's also, I believe, when King asked you to eventually go to the auction that was going to be held by the Setites.
Yes.
But that would be sometime in the future. In the middle of all that, Lottie was around for the majority of that, but Lottie was also dealing with a lot of her own things with her sister, who was constantly going to Chicago to talk to her sire.
And not the sister's sire, Lottie's sire.
Yes, Lottie's sire. So in the meantime of that, Lottie ended up setting up her sister to be embraced by Valentina, the domain leader and a very powerful Ventru. And around that same time, Rufus had a fun discovery in Katarzyna's Haven.
I don't know Shockmon. I didn't see anything.
Yep. The coterie brought the rest of the Nosferatu together and pressed them to not do anything to Cat because that would be stupid. Or, just don't do stupid things in general. And then William let one of them get through. And you guys did end up seeing him later.
Most of them.
Well, there were a couple missing parts. Because Katarzyna called you guys the next night or two, and that's when you found him, and he was messed up. And then the ground ate him. And that is shortly after that, Lottie made good on her promise to her sire to find the Bruja Anarch leader in the city, or at least who you all thought was who was Anarch. And then some questions were brought up because things didn't line up correctly there upon questioning and all of that. And Shiloh had ended up making her way from Atlanta with Katarzyna back up to Detroit for a little bit, where Rufus showed her around a little bit. And Debbie also left at that point. Left the city. And that was also when you guys met Alex. Because you guys saved them from being held for 24 hours in a cell. Because that would have been very bad, because Alex was a gangrel. And then Rufus showed Shiloh to where he knew some other... I'm blanking.
Salubri?
Yes, thank you. Where some other Salubri were. And then left her be. And then you guys went to Charlotte's, where I believe Rufus had some dealings, or I forget exactly why you guys went to Charlotte's. But in the middle of all of this, you guys were pulled by William's sire to go check out a masquerade breach, and you guys collected a Thin Blood, who constantly pops up by the name of Chris. And then...
He's my little buddy.
Yeah, definitely. Not forced or coerced in any way.
No.
You guys then did meet Uriel at Charlotte's. And Charlotte asked and called in a favor, which you guys still... She owes you guys still. Where her favorite ghoul was missing while searching for Chris's sire. And then you guys went and did some searching. You ended up finding a bunch of ex-ghouls from the Nosferatu that had been killed, who were abducting kindred to feed off of after keeping them caged and staked in the basement. That's also where you guys met...
Oliver.
Buck and Oliver.
Buck and Oliver, but also... Hang on, I will pull up names. Caitlin. That's also where you met Caitlin. A Ventru from Katarzyna, not Katarzyna, holy shit, from Valentina. One of the ghouls you guys found were killed, but then William and Rufus each got one. So then William did some stuff for Charlotte. Lottie was occupied with Valentina. Rufus and Uriel dug into some information that Uriel had received from a herd member about a knife and a graveyard. And that is where you guys met Leon. And where your world expanded a little bit when you learned that Fae exist. And that also when you learned that there is more old kindred than just Cat in Detroit. As Leon referred to himself as a Cappadocian. And that ended Arc 1 with the graveyard there. 2 is the festival. So we had a decent time skipping where you guys each took care of some stuff. So then March rolled around, Lottie then dealt with a bunch of fallout from having her sister forcibly embraced, because her sister did not want to be embraced, or at least not by Valentina. So that was some interesting fallout when they were trying to reconcile with each other but couldn't. And on the 6th, Valentina wrapped up her sister in some defense of a tech blackout that was happening. And Lottie ended up following, and turned out some Sabbat infiltrated it and were trying to break into a strange sarcophagus. While that was happening, William was working on a bunch of personal products, and then his sire recommended him for a special job from Charlotte, where he met her childer and sent to pick up what was referred to as a package. The Sabbat crashed the pickup, and Charlotte did not get what she was promised. Or no, she did?
She did.
Yes, she did. And I think William was left with a lot more questions than answers at that point. Because the package was people.
I think even William would have had a hunch on that.
About the circulatory system? Maybe.
Well, not necessarily a circulatory system, but how Charlotte kept her herd.
It was not her herd. She doesn't have a herd necessarily. She has, which she refers to as cherished employees. Charlotte runs a, not even sure what you would call it. A blood bar?
It's a true speakeasy now.
Yeah. Yeah, you could go and order resonances and disgracias, and the siren herself would make sure that they would happen, along with the Tremere she employed. So, while that was happening, some shit was going down in the local chantry with Uriel, who was trying to find out more information about the knife, but it culminated in the Sabbat infiltrating, wrecking some stuff, setting things on fire, and some of them not getting out, but most of them getting out. This was also at the same point in time, we had our one shot where, on top of the Sabbat infiltrating, the Ministry also infiltrated, where Hush made an appearance. And we learned that, what's her name?
Sylvia.
Sylvia, yes. Sylvia is not, as nice as she potentially appeared, because she also was part of the one breaking into there, along with some mercenaries.
Cough, cough,
They stole many, many books and artifacts and things. Some of which Hush took, some of which the Ministry took. Well, the Ministry themselves in Detroit took. Oh yeah, I forgot about the auction.
It's fine, nothing happened.
Yeah, Rufus definitely didn't receive a very interesting scroll or sheaf of paper during that auction. You guys definitely didn't get some really game-breaking ice capsules, and talked your way into buying a crystal-like rose that was gifted to Charlotte.
Yep.
Anyway, so the chantry is left on fire, and lots is missing, and Uriel has to deal with the fallout for that. And then, during that same time skip, Rufus did a shitload of traveling. and then worked on claiming a domain within the city when he returned. Then Katarzyna contacted him because things were going south and getting a little bit spicy in the city, and sent a ghoul to pick him up. And Vincent was not very thrilled with having to pick up Rufus. Rufus was dropped off at a church that was very important to him, with the warning of, if you want nothing to happen to this, you might want to look after it.
And nothing happened.
Well, you got checked in on a few times and had some interesting conversations. Then you did spot a Sabbat off in the distance. They ran away. The most important bit was the next night, in which all of the domain leaders gathered, and you guys learned where a mass embrace had happened. Kat and Leon were on cleanup duty for that one, but the rest of the coterie got called together at that point to sit down and make a plan, because Rufus volunteered himself as the main go-to for dealing with this week. And that was only day 2. And so from there, every domain leader sent out a bunch of people, or at least one person, to deal with things. Along with money, supplies, cars, anything you guys wanted, you pretty much could have gotten had you asked. And that was made fairly clear. Peter and Varia were sent from Kat. Leon sent Quinn. Nain sent himself, kind of, to help deal with some zombies that popped up that were attacking the Thin Bloods. Definitely nothing went wrong there. No fires or anything.
We didn't run a truck into a mausoleum.
Nope. Or promise people that you were making a horror movie using Charlotte's name as a name drop there.
It's fine.
She agreed to it.
She did. She did. So you guys dealt with the zombies, and the Thin Bloods were on cleanup duty from that. And then the next night, it was very quiet, like weirdly quiet for a while. But then you heard rumors of Chris's sire. And while you were trying to follow up leads to that, you guys met a ghoul. Well, you guys heard from Ken, who was a gangrel leader in the domain to the left of where Rufus was claiming, with a ghoul from Cassidy who had information to give. And that was where you learned that Cassidy was leading a Sabbat insurrection. She is definitely not an anarch. And that night wrapped up with problems with the police that William didn't take care of, and Rufus had to clean up.
Easy to fix, though. It's fine.
Yeah. So.
We didn't do anything illegal. We didn't do anything illegal.
You absolutely did. You impersonated police officers, and that is absolutely illegal.
We impersonated private detectives.
That's still
Exactly.
probably illegal.
It's not, actually.
Oh, really?
No, it's not.
Oh, well, still. Instead of handling the issue, you let it fester, and then the police were called. Anyway, the following night, you guys met Ellie's child, who she sent to help you guys. And then a Sabbat pack raided Rufus's domain, heading closer and closer to his seat of power. That was taken care of, though. And then you did actually go find Fred. Or at least the remains of him. because you guys ended up finding a Lasombra who was wrapping up the cleanup from another Sabbat pack, which included Fred and a lot of other people there. And that's where you met Bailey. I don't think I missed anything huge in there, did I?
William got stolen.
Was that the end of that night? No, it was the next night.
Oh, okay.
Because you guys spent the night rallying people together and getting ready for the raid that was happening the next night. And then William decided to make a brilliant move to walk home himself without any backup, and that's when he got stolen. And then T, to help bring some muscle along, introduced Rufus and Coterie to Zep, a mercenary thin blood, who, unbeknownst to Uriel especially, was part of the raid on the Chantry.
Uriel doesn't care anymore.
Maybe. And so, the last night of the festival culminated in literally an all-out war at the warehouse, in which you guys were very wrong about the numbers that awaited you, because there was a lot of very new embraced kindred there who were very, very hungry and very, very desperate and confused. And a lot of the people that you guys knew and had worked with are no longer alive.
Nobody important, it's fine.
Sure, definitely. So Rufus went and destroyed Cassidy, but also a kindred that she had been working with. I don't think you realized anything about them. Nope, didn't dig into them at all.
Nope.
And then you went looking for William, and then Abanu ended up helping you because they were in the middle of scoping things out when you guys did your attack. Isabella was the Banu. Uriel had a fantastic vision as things started to go a little pear-shaped. So at the end of that whole spectacular affair, Katarzyna showed up with her ghoul, who outed himself as a guru, for those who were paying attention. And also showed up with a white, who she was very attached to, and who was remarkably familiar to Rufus.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see anything.
So those, between the three of them, they pretty much destroyed most of the remaining Sabbat very, very quickly. And then a single final kindred shows up where Uriel gets the first premonition that they had not forced upon themselves, and had a really rough time with it because it came from something else that they're attached to that they shouldn't be, and learned that it is a very, very old Ventru, who I think Rufus recognized, but no one else did. And then the following night was just taking stock of who was lost and learning that Artemis is a problem. And that begins the start of Arc 3, in which Rufus left because he had to meet Tori in Indianapolis to basically finish up the debts owed and everything. And then William went with them to just get out of the city because he was a blood bag from the Sabbat, and he definitely wanted to get away. But it definitely worked out in his favor because, blood leech Tori. But everyone came back. Tori met with Katarzyna, and then the Detroit coterie spent time with Tori, and they had some fun chats, and then Uriel learned some new blood sorcery and gets a wake-up call about the Chantry, in which they have decided to leave the Chantry at this point, although hasn't quite happened in game yet, I don't believe. But the decision was made. And then Rufus left again around the same time as Tori when she went back to leave for the Atlanta. But he's taking a road trip with a ghoul, well, 2 ghouls. His 2 ghouls, because he finally ghouled his police officer friend. And so the coterie took some much needed time to themselves, but in the middle of that, they got a call from Varia, who Damien, who I forgot to mention, is Rufus's child, but from a human he got killed during Sabbat week. Because Damien noticed some cult-like activities, and Varia sent out the remaining coterie to go check it out. Where you met a Banu named Chevy, who kind of just inserted himself into the group, and no one said no.
Kind of.
And then trying to figure out some strange happenings going on. You're still left with more questions than answers about the cult, but between that night and the next night, Leon ended up getting hold of Uriel, demanding to know where Rufus was, because he couldn't... Well, Rufus said he wasn't in the city. And whatever else conversation took place there. So Leon demanded Uriel to pay recompense for the issue that Rufus caused by driving the truck into the graveyard to take care of the Sabbat, because some strange things started happening in the Shadowlands at that point. And that's when they met... Well, they were sent to meet... What did I say her name was? Annabelle?
I want to say that's right.
They were sent to meet Annabelle, however, upon meeting... What's Serga's character's name?
Life.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Life.
I forgot. The new player, Serga, with the character name of Life, they met him and learned that Annabelle was dead, and that Mina would be the one who potentially would be able to help them. And you guys, with Life's aid, talked her into making you some masks to go along with a ritual that Leon will be performing for you. And that is where we left off, after you guys gathered some supplies.
We didn't ride around with those supplies at all. It's fine.
Nope. Definitely couldn't have exploded yourself or anything.
And also didn't drive through Venture territory.
Oh yeah, you guys did, and then saw a scraggly dog that wasn't actually a dog. Just setting things up for later.
Yeah.
Yay, living on the edge.
Oh yeah, Zep has that too, doesn't he? Zep... Oh boy, that'll be fun later. This is why you don't let people with living on the edge drive. Any questions about Detroit? Questions, comments, or concerns?
Any story beats you wanted us to that we missed out on?
None that I didn't expect to get missed. I thought you may follow up more with the Banu, although there hasn't really been too much time for that. Thought you might follow up more with Ken.
He's no longer with us, though, so we can't do that anymore.
Nope. Yeah, all of the NPCs that died in my game were by the will of the dice. No one was safe. Not even some ghouls. Right, Oliver? Rip. Rip Williams Ghoul Oliver. I thought some more might happen with the ministry, now that you guys knew where they were. Because I know Buttons had talked about that, but nothing actually happened there. So there weren't anything that I really wanted you to hit. Because you guys were mostly following the big ones. But there was stuff going on all over the place had you followed up on anyone.
This is what happens when you're like, well, when you let me run the show. I follow up on the people I want to follow up on.
That's fine. I will say the one that I wish you had done was look more into that person that Rufus had killed.
Yes, but you said that Buck found some stuff.
He did.
Technically speaking.
He did, and lucky you that he has high investigation rolls, because if I didn't roll for that, a lot of information would have been missing.
Yep. Might have been part of what sparked the whole we need to go get some peoples.
Yep.
Because I would wholeheartedly assume that something would have been said by Buck.
Oh yeah. He wouldn't understand it, but he absolutely would tell Rufus what I told you was going on there.
Yep. Which is how I'm justifying going now.
Yes. Rufus has some people to gather.
Let's just say for Nen's purpose and whoever else that doesn't fully actually understand it, because I kind of expect Nen to kind of understand the connotation. They're not a baker. They do bad things.
That person was from Canada.
Yeah.
And Ontario? Was it Ontario?
Toronto.
Toronto. A Toronto license.
Which is not good.
Yeah. Some vague hints there. Hopefully everyone gets it.
And if you don't, look up World of Darkness Toronto.
Yeah, it's great. Good times.
Yes.
I haven't had any lore characters show up in my game yet other than Artemis, but more will be coming.
So, does not have any questions regarding Detroit.
I seem to be following up on everything big that's going on.
Okay. And I have asked all of my questions real time with you, so
Yeah.
I don't have any questions for Detroit.
Okay. What else do we want to go over then?
Do we want to do some like high level spoilers?
Oh, Kraken, we've gone over what Rufus's van looks like.
Yeah, it's a mid 2000s Chevy panel van with a couple murals on it.
It's definitely a free candy van. But instead of it saying free candy, it has biblical art on it.
Yes. And Rufus definitely didn't do it himself.
I totally picture it. The cover of the Star Wars thing where Luke is holding up the lightsaber. I picture that, but with Jesus with his hands in a prayer position.
No,
The
it's Moses.
disciples.
It's Moses.
Mm-hmm.
So Moses with the staff doing that pose.
Yes.
Well, I thought that was on the back because the doors to the back open and it's the parting of the sea.
Yeah, that's that one. The other one that's just like the hands with like stuff.
Ah.
We haven't really said what the big one is. But
No, we have
no, he
not.
actually wouldn't. He specifically actually wouldn't put one of the prophets, or well, like the Messiah, quote unquote, on the van to try to make it more inclusive.
That's fair, I guess.
Which is weird because he's a white dude from the 20s.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Yep. Totally fine. Nothing weird going on there. So what were you saying? Do we want to do what?
Like high level spoilers of stuff that you might see coming up.
We could. Do you want spoilers, Ned?
Sure.
The spoiler warning, I guess. Big spoiler warning.
Like I said, high level. Nothing overly specific is what I was thinking. Like, for mine, you might have some Guru problems pop up, but not specifically with Guru. It's Guru-like things. Because, yes, we have Pentax, but not them. There'll be some ministry stuff eventually. That whole Banu thing will definitely come back and bite you. And
Hopefully not literally.
Yeah, hopefully not literally, but they might. And then finally, and most importantly, you guys are going to a fashion show.
Woo! This will be great. Definitely won't be weird for Tori to go to that.
No.
I don't believe Steven got to go to the last one because I was away during that time.
I believe you're right.
Oh, is that like the only game you missed?
There was like 2. And I think the second one was missed because of jet lag. But you were having fun, and that's what is important.
Oh, for sure. I just know that in, like, missing games, it's me, you, then Nen. Because Nen's been here for almost every single one.
There were a couple games I missed from other stuff, but that was more due to power outages.
Well, that's outside
Yeah.
circumstances.
Yeah.
Let's see. Toronto is going to become a larger problem for you guys. That dog that you encountered, that Zep saw, will be a more prevalent thing. You'll see more of them. And someone you think is dead is going to come back. Well, someone you know is dead, that you guys know is dead, is going to come back. Due to an artifact, which was talked about in-game. And for whoever watched, purchased at the auction.
I already know all this stuff, so I
You
can't
don't
give
have
a
to
shit.
rub it in everybody's face.
Yeah, I know, but still.
I know about the Guru problem.
As you should. And actually, Nen should probably know that too.
I think I gave you the idea, and I was like, whoops, oh no.
No. That was something that was ruminating,
Ah,
but then it just kind of right place, right time.
okay. Yeah, those are some of the more immediate things coming up in Detroit. Although, your big one is that you guys are going to the Shadowlands next game
Yeah.
to deal with whatever is causing all the ghosts and wraiths to vacate or not be there anymore.
Calling it right now. It's a magic frog.
Definitely. Because that frog has friends on the other side.
It's Hypnotoad.
Yep.
I can't be the only one that knows what that is. Second one.
I know. Oh, I know the one I saw wasn't the
Second
Hypnotoad.
one.
Yeah, yours.
Oh, mine's showing up first on mine.
Yeah, no, mine's showing up then.
Weird.
Then you.
Mine shows mine then.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know exactly what it was from.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure because like I got a lot of very blank stares. I was like, oh.
Mine was a really.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely Hypnotoad.
Yeah. It just makes sense, right?
Doesn't have anything to do with some very hurt Hakata.
No. Definitely not.
Yeah, that's your immediate issue. And then some building issues.
Yeah. Eventually Rufus will be back to be able to take care of the other issues.
How many more games you want him gone for?
I don't know. However many it feels right for.
Just let me know. Tori's not going to have to do any trips soon, is she?
No. Not by my doing. If you want her to, then she can, but not by my doing.
Not quite yet. as fun as it would be to play my backup. Not quite yet.
You mean Haley 2?
Hey, I promise that my next character will not betray you guys.
Sure.
Look, just because it looks like they might, they definitely won't.
It's kind of like Chevy definitely wouldn't like give all you guys up to save his own rear end.
Hmm?
Because I don't know you guys.
No, and you definitely don't know the kindred the self-declared caitiff who works with demons.
Yeah. That won't be a problem with Rufus.
I'm still shocked by how much Zerga pushed out in that game.
Yeah, it's just like, here's all of my stuff, go, but
Blech. Although the most interesting thing is that Life declared that he was interested in a demon called Nain Rouge,
yes.
and did not know the kindred called Nain Rouge.
Yeah. Which then we will have to talk to Nain about that.
Yeah.
Because, hey, you little shit.
That'll be an interesting delve into his backstory potentially.
Yes, potentially. So, do you have any NPC questions for me?
Tell me all of the secrets.
No,
Why not?
not all of them.
Why not?
I need specific questions.
What is Cornbread getting up to while he's away?
Cornbread is actually doing some business in Washington, D.C.
Interesting.
Can't give specifics, but it's for the benefit of Atlanta.
Oh, I was going to ask if it's going to come back and bite us in the ass.
No, it's for the benefit of Atlanta, I promise you.
The actual benefit from the Anarchs of Atlanta or the Giovanni?
All of the above.
Oh, okay. Interesting. What's the fallout of the mayor's daughter situation going to be?
You will find that out. But there is absolutely going to be some fallout there.
I would hope so. Did Johnny actually get to her?
Yes.
Okay. I was really hoping she wasn't going to knock Bobby out.
No. She was at that point not fed in 2 days, not really. Because outside of a handful of like snacks and some water, not really been fed. And not particularly strong to begin with. So yeah. Bobby was fine.
Did she see Bobby? Did she try to leave?
No.
Oh.
Bobby also might have sat against the door.
That's hilarious.
So like, there's absolutely no way she could have pushed him.
Ooh, but that outed her. Ooh, that outed Tori's ghoul to Johnny.
It's fine. He may have already known.
How'd he know that one?
He has friends.
That's fine as long as he doesn't know the circumstances behind it.
Yeah.
Is that a yeah he does?
Doesn't matter either way. He just likes to know what's going on with everybody's business.
Oh yeah, Tori hasn't checked in with that holy shit. Malkavian she sent him.
Not at all.
Do you have his phone number? I don't even know how she would get hold of him.
She would be able to get his phone number from Barney. Because Barney's the one that took him over there.
I was under the assumption she gave him his with a probably get hold of me when you can.
Either way.
Either way, she needs to check in with him. See if he can actually spy or not.
That would be a roll.
How's Twitch liking his new position?
People keep him, or still don't bother him, so he doesn't care.
You making that roll?
No?
What you doing then?
None ya?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Sure. I feel like this is absolutely my business.
Nah, it's not. There will be some rolls being made, but right now, no.
Okay.
And it's for a lot more than just that.
Oh. Okay.
Anything else?
Do you have any, Ned? I've been the only one asking.
What's Cyril been up to lately?
Receiving information from Steven?
Yeah, what's Steven been telling him?
Just little things here and there.
Like what?
Like whatever Cyril asks for.
No elaboration there?
Nope.
Aside from, did you Rick the Masquerade tonight?
That's gonna be a yes answer.
To be fair, this last game, Steven could have said no.
True. Tori's gonna have to check in. I feel like it would be definitely in character with her to check in with Twitch about that.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's gonna be some fun cleanup. I don't even know how we're gonna do that one, but yeah, That'll be fun. Steven has modified memory, right?
Yep.
Yep.
For the entire city?
Sure. Yeah, all the blood bags. Wait, what do you mean the entire city?
There was a break-in at the zoo. And some
Yeah.
crocodiles got out.
Yeah.
So you don't think the news wouldn't report on it?
Yeah, the crocodile is breaking out, but probably not the footage of Tori turning into a dog. Or turning out back from a dog.
No, but the footage of Tori and Steven climbing into the scaffolding, as everybody else is running out of it.
Fine. Tori will just change her face.
Sure. So, yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
We're looking for these suspects.
Yep. Oh god, during the thing? Really?
What?
During the ball or whatever it is? Really?
Not during the ball. Gala.
Follow? Yeah, whatever it is. Like, I really hope that doesn't happen during that.
No, it'll be the following evening.
Okay.
Because the report just said there was a break-in and some crocodiles got out. Then the following evening, the news was like, we are looking for these individuals. If anybody has any idea who they are or where they are, please let APD know. They are wanted for questioning. And you have a social media influencer.
Yeah, and?
People gonna know who they are.
Cool. I don't think it was stated that she got any pictures of Tori.
No, but you're on security camera.
Right. That still has nothing to do with having a social media influencer?
Right. But people are gonna know who Desi is.
Was Desi seen?
On security camera.
Did you say not on?
No, on security
Oh.
camera.
Oh, cool. So it's not just Steven and Tori that are getting hit with that.
No, it's all 5 of you.
Oh, cute. That'll be fun.
Including Barney.
So at least Tori can say, it's not just me, bitch.
Yeah. How did you not wipe this? I was hurt.
Well, that's a question Twitch, too, because he was supposed to be on that kind of duty, too.
He also wasn't alerted that you guys were going there.
That's fair. We were a little rushed.
I gave you plenty of opportunities.
No,
Is
I
there
don't mean
anything else
from
that
you.
you're doing?
I don't mean from you. I meant after we figured out the Barney thing.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
I have no idea how we're going to do that one.
Cobbler needs to cobble.
That sucks too, because Tori just got all that shit moved to that new mask.
Well, sort of. As far as the whole cobbler thing, need to find somebody that can like erase everything. And Franny's not willing to.
No?
Not for this particular instance.
Why is that?
And because it is too high profile. And she can't just pack her stuff up and move.
It's fair.
So what I'm hearing is we need to talk to the Mitzi about finding someone else who can.
I don't know, maybe. Or go talk to some other people in the city.
Who?
People with money.
Funny, that's Cyril?
Potentially.
Also Johnny.
Cyril, Johnny, the Giovanni. Who do you want to proverbially?
Hmm?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say be indebted to?
Yeah.
Well, I know who Tori would pick hands down.
That's certainly not Cyril.
No, definitely not the person she can at least feels like she can guess what he would probably want from her. Or at least in the rough ballpark. He's not an unknown to her.
Yeah.
So even if I go ahead.
The issue is, what if it's not Cyril actually doing that? What if it's somebody above him?
That's a possibility too. And she would likely be aware of that all as well. I still think she would rather throw in with them than the Giovanni.
And what is Steven thinking?
Steven probably try to go through Johnny first and then check in with the Zamitzi.
Okay.
Just
We
because he
will-
doesn't want to owe Cyril another favor.
We will see which way is more lucrative.
Tori does
And yes.
not want to go to Johnny, for sure. She'd rather go to the Giovanni than him.
And by the way, yes, I absolutely did plan it that way.
Hmm.
Like, I had a really good feeling that you probably wouldn't have thought to like try to clean that up. So I was like, I'm not going to say anything this time.
To be fair, up to this point, Barney has 100% taken care of pretty much everything without our input. So it would make sense that they wouldn't think about that necessarily, outside of usually being very cautious.
Yes.
Tori slipped, and she's gonna be damn sure she ain't gonna do that again.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Because I really don't feel like Shiloh would go for Cyril for owing him something.
And I can tell you what Desi won't go for.
Giovanni.
Nope.
Johnny.
Nope.
Oh, really? Won't go to Cyril?
Won't go to Cyril or won't go to our other Zemitzi friend.
Really? Why is that?
You got to take that up with Desi.
Interesting. That sounds like the Giovanni is who we're going to.
I know all you can go to whoever you feel like. If you want to divide and conquer, go for it. Whoever gets it done first is the winner. And I know who's going to get it done first.
Any hint?
Do you really want those hints, or do you want me to just let you fumble through it?
Nope, I'll still fumble through it.
You can message me. I'm just very curious. I'll let it play out however it plays out, but I know Tori's priorities. And it's the devil she knows versus the one she doesn't. And who can know a Malkavian? She likes Steven a little bit more than she likes most Malkavians, but she does not like Malkavians. Especially now with the demontation.
Speaking of demontation, I do have an interesting question about that one. Are there any Malkavians, let's say, who want to seek Steven out to learn that?
If you advertise, I'm sure there's a couple.
Look, let's not spread that around.
It's okay, Tori doesn't have to know.
What is the amalgam for that?
What?
What's the amalgam for it?
I think it's just purely dominate. Let me double check. Oh, obfuscate too.
Okay. Well, I'm lucky that Tori doesn't have obfuscate, otherwise she might contract it via our homebrew rules. Or at least the early stages of it. She has dominate.
So yeah. Fun times all around.
That's pretty much what I expected, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see
So-
your other message.
So basically what that means is 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Either way, stuff is going to happen.
Yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see the fallout to that one. Questions about Detroit?
I honestly don't have any. At least
How much
none that I know won't like give off major spoilers.
How much trouble will we have with the cult?
There's potential for it to be a pretty big problem. Depending on how long it's ignored or if you guys can find him again.
Oh, we'll find him again.
It's been a growing thing, and they finally hit enough people to where it's yeah. It's a big problem for Rufus, not necessarily so much for you guys if you distance yourself from him.
Zep's not going to for reasons.
Well, it's also a big problem for Chevy, too. For other different reasons.
It's okay. They can come to his front door and he'll take care of them.
Isabella definitely won't show up again. Did she die? No, I think she's still alive. Yeah, Isabella's
Pretty sure.
still going.
Yeah.
I have to redo my list of what NPCs I can pick from or what NPCs I need to introduce as new. Seeing as I cleaned about more than half of the house out.
It was only like 8 out of like 23. It's fine.
Yeah, except 3 of those 8 were super important people.
Valentina and Octavius and do we want to say Mike / King?
Yeah.
Because they kind of go hand in hand, so technically
They did.
4. Definitely not important.
No, not at all. Nope. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing that you don't have questions about Detroit. You have NPC questions?
I know everything that I want to know right now because I like to learn stuff organically as far as NPCs.
I usually stick around for most of the post-game talk, so I know most stuff about the current NPCs.
That's true. That's true.
Any questions about Zep so far?
Not from me.
How easily would it be for Zep to just be like, all right, cool, they're paying me more. Go for it. Scale of 1 to 10. Let's put it that way.
7 or 8?
That's about what I expected.
As long as you keep paying him, he'll stick around.
Yeah. And we've got a system in place for it. Now.
Yep.
Um, how forthcoming will he be if Yuri ever finds out that he was part of the whole raid on the Chantry?
It would depend. I think he kind of got the feeling that Hush was really the one leading that, and he's not sure if he's still alive or not.
Fair.
No, what are you talking about? Hush definitely wasn't in charge there. It was absolutely Sylvia.
Yeah. Hush didn't tell her to just get a team together and we'll just point him in a direction and let him go.
Nope. Not at all.
My final question, this is more so for my entertainment purposes. If Zep ever sees Hush again, what's his first instinct?
Then, like, he doesn't know him.
That's probably the best for everyone.
Because client confidentiality.
Hush also won't, like, murder you. Or at the
Won't
very least
string you
attempt
up.
to. Yeah, he won't use Eyes of the Serpent, paralyze you, and then behead you. You know, it's fine.
Oh, God. I would absolutely give Zep an extra dice or two to subterfuge and charisma for pretending like he doesn't know people just for the confidentiality thing, because that's great.
Zep is very professional.
Yeah. My question is, are you guys ever gonna go into Ellie's area? You ever gonna deal with Ellie?
Hope so, kinda.
If it's anything that Rufus has to deal with, no. Not so much. Well, not without really good cause, let's put it that way.
Pretty pissed that her child got killed. Not at you guys necessarily, but that's convenient.
I actually did think of something. Would Ellie have bonded Jim? What was the
Abso-fucking-lutely.
cool? Because he has a very interesting flaw that she'll find useful. He has bond slave.
Oh, yeah, no, she would have immediately, as quickly as she could have, fully bound him, just after realizing what he was.
He's a venture, right?
Zemitzi.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. She's gonna have a new surgeon.
Yeah. Sure.
I hope that becomes a fight. That'll be fun.
Hey, buddy, do you want to get out of here? No, too bad.
Yeah, he was bound as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And we'll be learning some vicissitude and flesh crafting relatively quickly if she has her way.
Yeah.
Don't worry what a Milkhaven's gonna do for that. It's fine.
She has ties to Camarilla.
Yeah, everything is fine. Nothing is wrong.
Yeah.
Because there definitely wasn't a hook in Lottie's apartment complex where someone went missing.
Yeah. But we don't know about that.
Nope. Because Lottie did hear rumors they went to Ellie's hospital.
Yep. But again, we don't know about that.
Nope.
However, let Rufus find out that she's making people go missing. We
Gotta
go have
eat
some
somehow.
words. We go have some words.
Well, the person was already sick. They probably just passed away from natural causes.
No.
Good luck realizing the truth of that role.
I will.
She's good at manipulation.
Me too.
Doesn't help you see through it, though.
True, but still. There's this thing called I don't believe you regardless.
I guess manipulation and insight could be used on that. I could see that.
To see the tells.
Yeah, I could see that role being made.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's probably fair.
For a manipulative character who uses the tactics themselves, yeah, I could see them realizing tells and specific, like, speech patterns and excuses.
Yeah. But it's okay because Rufus is the greatest guy ever. Super nice to
Yeah.
everyone all the time.
Definitely. Definitely doesn't bond people or anything.
No. Doesn't make that a habit. If they're going to be a problem, potentially.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. Tori needs to take a page out of his book.
Yeah.
He really fucking does.
If he could have figured out a way up until this point to bond Yuri, he would have.
Really?
Yes.
He considers
just
Yuri
hasn't-
that big of a problem?
Potentially, especially now. Realizing that there's a reason why they're basically blackmailing Yuri to still work in the Chantry. So, like, he wants to know what that reason actually is, because it's not just a failed diablerie. There's something else there in his head.
Interesting. Just so he could find out the reason, or so he could make Yuri, like, keep going?
Find out the reason and then assess from there as to what needs to happen.
He doesn't trust that Yuri would tell them themselves?
No.
Interesting.
Because he wouldn't tell someone. So why will they tell him? Because if you've noticed, everything he's told people is very high level stuff. Like, doesn't give specifics about damn near anything.
For the
Except
most
for how-
part.
Except for how old he is.
There's a
and
couple
that
people who
he-
know things, but most people don't.
And the people that know things are bonded.
That's fair.
So yeah, fun times.
Yeah. What's Red been up to?
Trying to think of what all I can actually tell you. He actually hasn't been up to like causing problems, if that makes anybody feel any better.
I mean, Barney bonded him, so I wouldn't expect him to be.
That's gone now, actually.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Why is that?
Because it was a very promptly put, you start messing up again, I'm going to do it again.
Are we going to hear about any of his exploits soon? Other than the
Probably not.
Putneska thing?
Probably not. You'll hear about some Dante stuff again.
Oh boy. Really?
I was just about to ask that.
Might not necessarily be anytime soon, but you'll hear about it.
Oh boy, I can't wait. That confrontation between Dante and Tori will be fun.
Assuming you live through it.
I assume it
Assuming
has to do with
you live
that.
through it.
I assume it has to do with that MI6 agent that you didn't kill.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, that child of his.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep. I'm sorry, did you say if Tori lives through it?
Yep.
It concerns me that that's in question.
It's fine.
Sure. I'm very concerned now. That's not something that's typically in question.
How involved do you want to get?
Depends on what the problem is.
Interpol.
Tori would rather stay far the fuck away from that shit. Especially after the zoo thing.
That's fine. They haven't been watching the city or anything for months.
Yeah, sure.
They don't already know.
Yeah.
Oh, and that traveling preacher.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
They may or may not have an accent
Okay.
from Europe somewhere.
Okay.
Also known as they might also be involved in the Interpol thing.
Fun. That's fun.
But no big deal.
Huh. Is it going to be a clan based thing? Like, is it going to be Tori's called upon to deal with actual gangrel shit?
Maybe.
Huh. I forget what their groupings are called. Moots or something like that.
Yeah, but all of them just like, yo, y'all need to be here right now.
Yeah.
We got stuff we got to talk about.
I don't know if she would go. I mean, she would be dying of curiosity, but at the same time, I don't know if she would want to go.
What if it wasn't Dante that said something?
There's still a heavy hatred of her clan.
What if it was the Hellcat that said something?
She might feel obligated to go just because he might do some shit to her if she doesn't.
Yeah.
Because her new path has a thing of not angering kindred that can wreck your shit.
Oh, he definitely can't wreck your shit. It's fine.
Sure. He's definitely not one of the few kindred that actually scare her in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, her path has a thing that says, respect other more powerful kindred's domains or something like that. And despite his being outside the city, she definitely knows it's more than that.
It's not like he's the entire eastern seaboard.
Yeah.
And who all is Tori actually scared of? Like, actually scared of?
That Giovanni that met with her.
Okay.
Cyril. But not so scared that she won't interact with him. If she gets on his bad side, she would be afraid of him. So it's not like an active fear, but in the back of her head, it's a respect born of fear, if that makes sense. Johnny.
Why is she afraid of Johnny?
Very powerful Malkavian.
Maybe not as powerful as you think. He has a couple things that would very much cause her problems, but nah.
From her viewpoint.
Fair.
She knows he's not very old, but he's got some pretty potent mind stuff.
Yes, and he has a lot of money.
And that scares her. Not the money part, but the very potent mind stuff scares her. And he is in a position of power. From before when she got hers. So he actually does scare her. Maybe not to the point of, the old Giovanni. But he scares her.
Yeah, which, did I give you an actual name for that one?
I don't think so.
Okay, just making sure.
I have nothing in my notes about it, at least.
Okay.
obviously the Hellcat. But again, it's a respect-based one.
No, he could absolutely wreck your shit.
No, I meant it's not an active fear.
Yeah.
Like, she's not going to be afraid to be around him.
Okay, that's fair.
Unlike that old Giovanni, she was not having a good night that night. She was very scared. Obviously Gregor. She's standing up to him now, but he still scares her. Zamal would, but she knows she doesn't have to be.
Just don't mess up. You're fine.
Mm-hmm. The Zamitzi who collects knowledge. Again, and it's not an intense fear, but Tori's afraid of what they know about her.
They know a lot more now than they used to.
From who?
People, places, things.
Mm-hmm. Curious about that one now. Michael, actually, because he almost killed her.
Yep, that's fair.
As for Kindred living in this city, there's definitely those she's wary of, but not really fearful of. Like, she's wary of Barney, but she's not afraid of him. I think she feels arrogantly confident enough in herself that not many others actually scare her.
Okay, keep that in mind.
Which part?
She feels arrogantly confident enough that not many actually scare her.
Yeah. There's definitely more that should, but that she has interacted with, that's probably it. Well, I mean, Hush, too.
Yeah, but you should scare everyone.
Yeah.
What about Steven? Who legitimately scares Steven?
So, for starters, he's definitely worried about Gregor from what he's heard from Tori. Wary of Michael, but that's just because he saw him throw a fireball. Also wary of Samal, but he's kind of coming around on trusting him a bit. He doesn't really know Cornbread that well, so he's not sure what to think of him. I think for just about everyone else, he doesn't really think them too much of a threat. He'll protect himself if he has to, but
Okay.
but from a Kindred point of view, Steven's still too young to really think Kindred-y.
That's fair.
Who does Tori scare? Or who is afraid of Tori?
Actually afraid of Tori?
Yeah, like an actual, like, not like, oh, she's mad, she's scary, but like an actual fear.
Probably a lot fewer of them than you would expect. Doesn't really scare Johnny because it's go sit down.
Mhm.
Fuck, okay. Cyril, it's you're mad at me. We're gonna do this. Okay. He is confident enough in his abilities that he's like, okay, cool, whatever. And he has something that he hasn't shown anyone that Tori's not going to be able to resist. So, like, he just does that, and then he does what he wants. Dante is legitimately concerned about having to interact with Tori, but not necessarily actually scared.
What do you mean by that?
Just for the simple fact of Dante's like, I've dealt with more dangerous people. She's just dangerous and unpredictable, so like I don't want to deal with her. And he actually has dealt with more dangerous people, so Cornbread's not scared of you at all.
I expect him to be.
Barney is wary of, as is Red. Franny sequesters herself away from everyone for a reason. The Thin Bloods aren't actually scared for other reasons, but are definitely wary of Samal doesn't give a shit about anybody. He's like, if it's my day to die, let's go. Gregor is a little bit scared of Tori, actually.
Really? That surprises me.
Because she's starting to stand up to him. And Michael has a kind of respect-based fear. Of if she wanted to, she could hurt me. I think I could do more damage to her in much shorter periods of time, but she could hurt me.
So no one's really afraid of her, is what you're saying. That's fair. I was curious.
Yeah. Not like true fear. Being wary and not really wanting to deal with somebody, yes.
Yeah.
But not like true fear.
That's fair.
And then as far as Steven, nobody's afraid of Steven. I'm sorry.
Tori hasn't done overly much to make people afraid of her other than her temper, I guess, though, too. I didn't invest in...
I don't think Steven really has either.
outside the demontation. But I haven't really invested actually heavily into combat overly much other than in the very beginning. So, like, that even hasn't progressed at all. So, like, it makes sense. Until Tori does something fucking wild.
Yeah, like messed up Yogwai form.
She did that once, actually, in front of everybody.
Yep. Which is why they're now like, well, we should probably be worried about her. Because I'm not counting the people that are unnamed NPCs.
Yeah. That was the majority of who saw her, but yeah. She's taken it 3 times now, one of which was when we were dealing with the Sabat stuff in the gym. I think.
Also the prison.
Yeah, but that wasn't... I'm counting, like, out in... where, like, NPCs could see her.
Okay, so there was Carissa's basement and the gym.
Yeah, Carissa's basement, I think Red might have seen her. Other than that, it was Samal, the coterie, and just a few other random people. I think.
Couple named people, but they're all dead.
Yeah.
So yeah. Fun times.
Yeah. And I assume no one's really afraid of Shiloh?
No, everybody thinks that Shiloh's just a pushover. You yell loud enough and Shiloh's just gonna go poof.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth? I'm curious to see how things go.
We'll find out, won't we?
Mhm.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I thought I got it.
I
Anything
also
on your
don't have
guys'
anything else.
end?
Nothing from me. Because I know nobody trusts Rufus and nobody's overly scared of him.
People are getting more wary, but no one's really afraid of him.
Good. Lull them to a sense of false comfort.
Well, they were more comfortable with you before you took a domain.
That's fine.
But people were always wary about you with your connection with Kat. Because while not widely known, it was known enough.
Yeah. They just didn't necessarily know why.
Still don't, really.
If they find that out, it'll be funny. I'm like, oh, that's it? Really?
Yeah. But he's making power plays now, so people are beginning to keep a better eye on him.
Yeah.
Oh, is Carissa scared of any of us?
No. She's got too big of an ego to be scared of anyone.
That's fair. That's fair. We gotta track her down soon.
Told you exactly where she's at.
Look, we have a long list and not a lot of time to complete that list.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I should actually compile an actual list of hooks that we know about and need to accomplish.
For mine, there is Carissa Niktuku, Banu,
Council.
Council, Pentex.
Gregor.
I'm sorry?
Gregor.
Yeah, that's in there somewhere. I'd consider that kind of part of the council. For reasons. So it was like 5, 6 maybe. So nothing big.
Was it Carissa Banu Council?
Traveling preacher.
Yeah, hunters.
Niktuku.
Niktuku and Pentex. Sure, none of those are going to be that big of an issue.
Sure. Absolutely none of those. There, I forgot the zoo fallout.
That's fair. Which again is part into the Niktuku. So
It's its own issue at this point.
fair. But I am curious as to see exactly how you guys go about doing that.
The zoo fallout?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't... Tori really didn't want to get anyone involved in that, but she's gonna have to.
It'll be real fun to figure out how you figure that out. Because I assume that people don't just immediately like wake up and turn the news on.
I think 95% of the time Tori doesn't care, doesn't even bother to look.
It's all propaganda.
Exactly. So like Steven won't watch the news, Tori doesn't watch the news, Shiloh's too busy doing other things. So how are you gonna find this out? I wonder.
Probably by getting stopped by a police.
No.
Oh.
Might be the binder
What?
between Desdemona and the rest of you.
Well, Cyril did say a Toreador is good for PR.
Yeah,
Funny timing, that.
I know, right?
Yeah, I think if she would rather owe anybody a favor, it would be Cyril.
And she knows he has contacts in the police.
Does she now?
He said so. I mean, he could be lying, but he said so at least.
I know I told you. Did he
Pretty
actually tell you?
Yeah, that's he had said as much when we were looking for the mayor's daughter.
Okay.
Or at least alluded to having contacts in places like that.
That's probably more accurate. Alluding to, but not specifically saying that, hey, I know X, Y, and Z.
The alluding to would be good enough for her to figure out, like, you could probably do something. Just be a big O.
Yeah. But does she want to owe that much?
She doesn't want to owe that much to anybody. At all.
So this will be fun.
But I feel like she's also practical enough to know that she doesn't have the contacts to pull it off, and neither does anyone in her coterie.
One of you do. Just not in your coterie.
Does he?
Yes.
Hmm.
And she has the contacts for one specific reason.
Well, if that's the case. Maybe.
It's just whether or not Desi realizes she can do something about it.
Yeah, Tori wouldn't think to straight out ask her. She might lament it around her. To like call everyone together and be like, we have a fucking problem. I mean, whoever calls us together after it's realized. We have a fucking problem we need to take care of.
It'll be Desi. It'll be fun too.
Oh boy.
It's a good use of lore sheets, let's put it that way.
Not mine. Mine are useless for that shit. Mine's all about personal power.
Yep. And I have a bloodline. I do not have a lore sheet, so. The one that we come up with. Rufus.
Oh. I was confused. We were talking about Detroit. I didn't know who you were talking about. I mean, we weren't talking about Detroit. I wasn't sure who you were talking about. But no, you don't have a lore sheet. Are you going to pick a lore sheet?
Yep.
Interesting.
When the timing feels right.
I thought you did have a lore sheet.
Nope.
I had Week of Nightmares.
No, I thought you took the Book of Nod one.
No, I was thinking about it. I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
actually take it.
Gotcha. I'm interested to see what you were going to think about taking then. Has William taken any?
No, he didn't.
Are you going to? I mean, not with William, but with Zep.
Yeah, we were deciding on that custom one we were going to do for the
Yeah, it
mercy.
was
It was just the last dot that we hadn't figured out yet. And we need to finish that one for Surga. I have just not had the time to put into it.
So yeah. Nobody else has anything else. I am good with ending it now, which actually we're filled up a lot more time than we usually do.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised. We're just a few minutes shy of 12:30.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us, all the 3 or 4 people who were here tonight.
I say Nen does the announcements if we're actually going to do those. Or we can just not.
Go Dice, Legion, buy Dice, join our Patreon. Like, subscribe, all that stuff.
Listen.
Social media, watch our other videos, join us on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays.
Close enough. That's the important stuff.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for whatever. Good night. Goodbye.
Have a good night.